You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win.
Good afternoon. Welcome to WQKE LP 93.9 FM out of Plattsburgh, New York. This is your 3 o'clock sports report. So before we got on air, we were talking about exceptional athletic performances, because if anyone knows where Saranac High School is, which if you're listening in the area, I'm sure you know where that is. If you go and look up what happened last night, I don't even know who it was, but I showed Desmond it. A player essentially from half court. There's a shot clock must have been expiring. Just lobbed one over his head, bounced in the paint, and went in for. I was like, what is going on?
Oh, yeah. And then, like I was saying, so last night, Duke, who was number 9, was playing Wake Forest, and it was a close game. And then it was tied. They hit a tip-in after Apollo Banchero missed a layup. Tipped it in with .4 left. And a player on Wake Forest, you guys can't see this, but I'm going to demonstrate it, took the ball from like 70 feet away, the announcer said, and like Kareem sky-hooked it over his head. 70 feet away, and it almost went in. Like, the announcers were going crazy. Like, it banked, hit the glass, hit the inside the front of the rim, and then just bounced right back out. I jumped out of my seat. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was going to go in. But, no, yeah, it's always nice to see crazy plays like that. I remember, I think it was Paul Millsap, if I'm not mistaken, went to, like, save a ball by throwing it behind his head, and it went in. Like, stuff like that, you'd be surprised how it happens.
Well, you just watch, like, the one example I always think of is Steph Curry. Whenever there's any whistle in any game ever, he has the ball. He just shoots it. Yeah. Or John Morant. Like, John Morant, when any whistle's blown, he does either tries to hit an insane dunk or just chucks it towards the basket. Like, that's the type of stuff I love. But
yeah,
let's go back to collegiate athletics before we get into professional athletics. Tonight, 7 o'clock, SUNY Plattsburgh men's hockey teams will finish their season playing Morrisville. Morrisville. There it is.
I don't know. Are they good?
No. Yes. I believe they are eliminated from playoff contention. Yes. The 6 teams that are in in the SUNYAC are in order, or I don't know if it'll be in order, but it'll be close. Oswego's in first, Geneseo's in second, we're in third. Then I believe behind us is Cortland, then Fredonia, then Brockport. So right now we'd be playing Brockport, but Brockport and Fredonia are tied. And Fredonia had a huge upset last night on Geneseo. Geneseo is like ranked in the country, and Fredonia, who we beat 13-1.
I know. I have a friend that goes to Geneseo.
Yeah, they must. Geneseo's, like, for a SUNY school, is good at everything. Like, they're good at basketball. I was just showing you a highlight of our team getting absolutely crossed up by Geneseo, which was pretty embarrassing at basketball. So yeah, that's our local sports update. We'll go to professional sports. Then we have an international sports update because we have an Olympic update at the end of the show.
Yay,
but first,
the Olympics.
Let's start how we always do. Yeah, don't you love the Olympics?
Yeah.
I'm a Summer Olympic guy, by the way. You?
Summer only because of basketball.
I love golf. I love Olympic golf.
They have Olympic golf?
Yeah, and we won gold in it.
That sounds awful, but okay.
We won gold in it, so it doesn't matter. But, currently we'll start as we always do with our twinning outfits. Today we're going hoodies. It's actually, like, it was a lot colder than this morning than it is now. It's like 40 now, but it was like 10 degrees this morning when I got to school.
It's just the wind. Yeah, that's what I say every day. The weather here isn't terrible outside of the wind. Take away the wind, it's nice out right now.
Yeah.
But then you add in the wind, it's terrible.
And, like, some parts of campus are fine. This is, like, our college shock, but, like, some parts of campus are fine. Like, if you're walking near buildings, it's usually fine because the buildings are tall.
Yeah, like, because I live in Wilson Hall, when I take it's like a little pathway down towards Kent and the mailing center.
Yeah.
It's fine because there's no wind. The buildings and it's all blocked off. But walking from here to there is awful.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's dreadful.
I remember, because I come from the parking lot, walking, like, near the library, where the library's to your right is fine.
Yeah.
But the second you get away from a big building, it's horrible. But now it's like 40. The weather here isn't terrible most of the time, but, like, in the months of January and February, it's horrible.
On Sunday, it was terrible. The Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I went to Sundowner to get pizza for the game. My hands were, like, frozen by the time I got back. It was awful.
Back in January when you were gone, like, it was when I would go and do the hockey games, it was routinely, like, in the negatives when I would leave. I'd get there at 7. It'd be, like, 4 degrees out. And the rink is freezing because, there's ice in there. It is so cold in there. I'm, like, shaking the whole game. Then I leave. It's, like, -10 out. And that was every game I did. It was crazy. So this is becoming, like, this show, by the way, just random side note, is becoming like a podcast. Like, it's just us talking.
Yeah,
like,
quite literally is.
It is, yeah.
But we are trying to find out ways to make it like a visual experience for YouTube, and I think Spotify now does stuff like that too. We're trying to figure that whole thing out. We tried something before, it didn't work, so eventually we will get that. But with that, it's time to move into the NFL.
Yeah.
I am so happy because it is National No More Nate Solder Day.
All right,
He
can
is
you
off my team.
explain the situation? Because like this is, I didn't think this was a thing that was widely known.
Oh,
but.
it is. So, as I'm sure I've said on the show before how much I dislike Nate Solder, and I very rarely dislike NFL players. I respect them. I respect Nate Solder as a human being. He's a great guy. But as an NFL player, I do not like the man. I do not. Mostly because we, in I believe 2018, with everyone's favorite Dave Gettleman, we signed Solder to be the highest paid offensive lineman of all time. And he is very bad. He is very, 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 very bad. He might be, in no exaggeration, because I like to study offensive linemen, he might be the worst offensive lineman I've ever had to watch play with my own two eyes. His footwork is slow. His hands are useless. It's like watching a T-Rex out there. He has no strength. I've never seen a 6'8", 320 man get bullied the way he does. And he's finally off my team, and I am so happy. He is gone. He is gone because his contract was voided today. We're eating up like $4 million dead cap, but I don't care because I don't have to watch him play another snap of football ever again.
Congrats.
And I'm so happy about it. That's all I have to say on the Giants, though, because there's not been many updates. Actually, there is an update today. A former first-round pick for the Giants in the 90s, Tyrone Wheatley, very bust, as much as I hate to say it, was signed with the Denver Broncos to be their running backs coach.
Sweet.
I completely forgot he was drafted by the Giants because he didn't do very well.
I guess not. Plus, it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
We weren't even alive.
No, yeah. But
neither of us are.
With that, we'll move on to a little sneak peek in the free agents. It's a solid free agency class. No like big names. Like there aren't any big quarterbacks out there.
Aaron Rodgers.
Is he a free agent? Let me check his contract really quick.
Yeah, we were debating about this before the show. I don't really know how it works out, but I can run through.
Trying to type around the microphone here. I just typed in Aaron Donald.
That's the wrong Aaron.
Wrong. Yeah.
Did you see Aaron Donald's PFF grades?
I don't want to. I can only imagine.
Like his PFF grades the last 6 years have been all in the 90s, I believe, which is just crazy.
No, yeah, like Trent Williams had a PFF grade of a 98, which is the highest of all time. No surprise. Here we go.
What's it say?
He is under contract. He has a potential out, so he could become a free agent.
So he will become a free agent.
He has an opt-out option. So he could become a free agent, but I think he said when he was accepting the MVP that he doesn't know what he's doing yet, which I'm not surprised. No one, this season just ended. But here are some of the top free agents. We have Devonte Adams, who wants $30 million a year. Yikes. I don't know if any receiver would be worth that. Maybe a prime Randy Moss or a prime Jerry Rice. I don't know about Devonte Adams. As good as he is, of course. But
he is really good.
Oh, absolutely, but I mean $30 million. That's like quarterback money.
Yeah, and doesn't he want to be packaged with Rodgers?
With Rodgers, who's also going to want probably $20-30 million.
He deserves.
No, obviously they both. You can argue
Adams. I don't know about Adams.
You can argue Adams, but Rodgers obviously definitely deserves that. But then moving on, you have Teron Armstead, who's on the Saints, who usually they retain players like that, but they kind of can't because they made Ryan Ramczyk the new highest paid offensive lineman of all time, and they probably have the worst cap situation in the NFL when you think about it. I mean, think of all the guys that have a big contracts. Mike Thomas, Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
Cam Jordan.
Cam Jordan's on a big contract?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They have to re-sign Marcus Davenport soon. Teron Armstead.
Yep.
Ryan Ramczyk now. What's the name of Demario Davis. Marcus Williams, who I'm going to get into, he is also a free agent. But yeah, they are in a very bad cap. They are I think negative $50 million in the cap. So
Great.
They probably can't re-sign him. But
and their coach just left too.
Yeah, Sean Payton, or as I should say, Kevin James, because apparently that's who's playing Sean Payton in a movie, because Sean Payton's getting a movie for some reason. But moving on, you have
Kevin James.
You have Paul Blart. Little did we know that at some point in time, Paul Blart would be playing Sean Payton. But anyways, then you have Chris Godwin, who I believe is coming off an ACL tear. Obviously, he's a very good receiver. he will be getting a good amount of money. Whether it's with the Buccaneers, I don't know.
I don't really know what their quarterback
because,
situation. They still have retained Kyle Trask. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, Kyle Trask.
Which, I mean, that doesn't mean much, but they have a quarterback on staff.
Yeah. Von Miller, who I don't see returning to the Rams unless they give him a pay cut. I don't know where he could be going, though. Chandler Jones.
Any team with a linebacker would take him.
Obviously.
Or needs a linebacker.
Chandler Jones, that's questionable. I don't know. It really, to me, right now, it depends on what they're going to do with Kyler Murray, the whole situation with him, which is very confusing.
Yeah, and he just... we didn't get to talk about the statement he released.
Oh, no, we didn't. Do you have it by chance?
Give me a second.
I completely forgot about that. I'll move on to other guys. J.C. Jackson, who I heard that he was interested in joining the Giants. We'd have to clear up cap, but I would take that guy in a heartbeat.
I wouldn't be surprised if he went back, though.
No, I wouldn't be either, because obviously he was drafted by the Patriots, and I think they can franchise tag him. Yeah, he's one of the best. He's one of the bigger, best playmakers out of corners.
He's unbelievable.
Mike Williams, who I think is probably going to end up staying in L.A. with the Chargers. Him and Keenan Allen have the potential to be one of the best duo.
Yeah, I agree. And they have Herbert. I would never want to leave that situation.
And they have Eckler.
I would never want to leave that situation. That team's on the big up.
Absolutely.
They need a good draft, though, or two.
Marcus Williams, who safety for the Saints, who they probably will not be able to retain for reasons I mentioned before. Orlando Brown Jr., who will likely be re-signed by the Chiefs, because why would they let him go after trading for him? He's been one of the better offensive linemen in the league. Do you know what happened to his dad? Have you ever heard of the story about Orlando Brown?
I have not.
So his dad, I believe, was undrafted and picked up by the Ravens. He was very good. Very, very good. But he was hit in the eye by a flag and was blinded and couldn't play another snap in the NFL. So he went from undrafted to a very good tackle to blinded and out of the league.
Hit with a flag?
Yeah, he was because it's like a beanbag.
Yeah,
he was literally hit the ref pulled it out of the little pocket, or whatever, and flicked it up and hit him right in the eye, and he got blinded in his left eye.
That's so sad.
Yeah, and now obviously his son's in the NFL and is very, very good. Allen Robinson, the biggest fantasy bust of the year, I found out, unfortunately. He's arguably been a top 10 receiver with awful quarterbacks his whole career. So if he can go to a team and play with a great quarterback, I can only imagine what he would be able to do. And then the last big one I'll mention is Ryan Jensen, center for the Bucs, one of the better centers in the league. Mm-hmm. Another guy I want the Giants to target if they don't decide to draft a guy like Linderbaum, and if we can create the cap space, which we can. It's just a matter of if we want to. But yeah, there are other guys. I have a PFF ranking pulled up, as questionable as PFF can be sometimes. I like it personally. I like it.
You're a big PFF guy.
It can, taken out of context, it can look bad, because there are a lot of guys who are solid at what they do, but they're given a really low grade because they're lacking badly in another area. But it's the way I look at it is the best for offensive linemen. You want to look at offensive lineman stats, they're the only ones that give out, that show pressure, quarterback hit, accurately give that stuff out.
Yep.
And it's just great for grades. Great for college scouting. I've learned that is very good for that. But there's guys like Jesse Bates. He's definitely going to get a franchise tag. Jadeveon Clowney. I can't believe I'm mentioning him as a big name anymore. Randy. Yeah, it really kind of falls off after that. Stefan Gilmore is a free agent.
Yeah, he is.
Wow.
That's why he got traded to the Panthers.
No, yeah, wow. I didn't because
he's not really.
I figured he'd be ranked higher. No, he's not. He's not near what he used to be.
No, he's not. He really fell off.
Yeah,
really bad.
And you have guys like Carlton Davis, Tyrann Mathieu. I completely forgot about, even though he had a rough year this year. Brandon Scherf, who I will give anything to have him replace Will Hernandez.
Tyrann Mathieu too.
Well, yeah, no, it's actually a way better one than I thought. You got Odell Beckham.
Yeah, but
Mike Gesicki's a free agent, but he's likely going to be.
I wonder what they're going to do with OBJ.
He said he'd take a pay cut to stay, which obviously, as we saw in the Super Bowl, he's needed by that team. Dalton Schultz, Cowboys legend.
I'm so sick of the Cowboys.
Emmanuel Ogbah, who I'm kind of surprised that
I'm so sick of the Cowboys.
Sign him. And then you have guys like Akeem Hicks, Melvin Ingram, Casey Hayward, other guys like that. Pretty good, pretty solid free agent class.
Yeah, it's a solid one.
No big quarterbacks, which whatever.
The Rodgers situation.
That will become interesting, obviously. But.
And we'll see how that one pans out. Of course, we'll keep you updated. So let me read you Kyler Murray's statement. I play this game for the love of it. My teammates, everyone who has helped me to get to this position that believes in me to win championships. All this is nonsense and not what I'm about. Never has been. Never will be. Anyone who stepped between those lines with me knows how hard I go. Love me or hate me, but I'm going to continue to grow and get better.
Well, clearly he's not growing, but
Well, I mean, it depends if the reports are true or not.
Get it? He's short.
Oh, good one.
But
I love Kyler Murray as a football player, though.
Watching him run is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
He's quick, though.
His little legs just chugging along.
He's quick, though.
No, obviously he is, but I don't know. I mean, the situation with him is just so weird.
Like I said last time, if I was Jerry Jones, I'd go after him. I saw this thing today. I don't know. I should have sent it to you. It was like a video explaining the Cowboys' main problems, and it was like it starts at the top of Jerry Jones, but everyone knows that. But it was like their biggest problem is they overpay for mediocre players. Dak Prescott, Zeke, Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
They overpay for mid players, and then they end up in this situation where they're going to run into major cap trouble and not be able to do anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, didn't they give Jalen Smith a huge contract, and then he fell off the.
Then they released him.
Now he's on the Giants, I think. I don't know. I doubt he'll be here next year, but he wasn't bad for us.
I can't wait to see what kind of money Micah Parsons is going to get. Probably a lot.
Yeah, probably. If he keeps playing like this, he will probably, when he gets his contract, be the highest paid defensive player of all time.
I worry about Micah Parsons because Micah Parsons' biggest facet to his game is speed, and as soon as the speed falls off, I don't think he'll be nearly
but he still
as
has
good.
the IQ and stuff.
Yeah, but he is quick.
No, absolutely.
That was how.
We saw
that's why.
with the Pro Bowl, that he's a very fast guy.
Yeah, but Tyreek was jogging. If anyone saw.
Yeah,
it.
but still, he still beat out. Didn't he beat out like Trayvon Diggs? I know that's one guy.
Nick Chubb was the other one. Nick Chubb was the other one.
Wasn't Debo in that race?
I don't know. I thought it was Nick Chubb.
Regardless, beating out Nick Chubb and Trayvon Diggs is enough to show how fast you are.
He's got great. I love the footwork one. He's got great footwork. Like his running form is like, guy could be a track star.
No, yeah, but sadly, that's kind of all we have for the NFL.
Yeah, our NFL days are coming to a rough
right
end.
Now it's going to be NBA, maybe some updates. I actually do have an update because Juan Soto, I'm going to talk about the MLB, turned down. Like,
no, it didn't say he turned it down.
You sure?
It said it was before the lockout. So
this is right here.
Does it say
Juan Soto turned down?
Oh, okay.
This is from Jeff Passan, by the way. Juan Soto turned down a 13-year, $350 million contract from the Nationals.
I don't know if I'd want to go there though.
What, to the Nationals?
Yeah, never want to stay there.
No,
because they were kind of like the Rams. They went all in for one season, and then Brian Zimmerman's retired. Which, I mean, he wasn't a big player on the team anymore. He's kind of old, but they kind of went in all in one World Series, and then it all really unraveled after that. Yay!
Yeah, but with that, moving to the NBA, last night wasn't too bad, but before we get into last night, I know we're a little late on this, but
it's been 10 years.
10 years since Linsanity. When I was younger, I didn't watch much basketball. I was obviously more of a football guy, but I remember Linsanity, of course, because the number one thing I remember about it was I went to breakfast at a local diner with my dad, and there was a newspaper. I think it was like the New York Post, and it was like Linsanity, baby, and it had like him with like a crown on. I think if I had to guess, I'd say it was probably after he hit the game winner on Toronto, which is obviously the part that most people remember about Linsanity. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people, like, I hate to say it, I love Jeremy Lin. He's the first Knicks jersey I've ever owned.
Mm-hmm.
He becomes very overrated sometimes on Twitter, as much as I hate to say it, because I do love the guy. Like people saying that, oh, Melo ruined him. Like, no, because if Melo ruined him, he would have been... Once he left the Knicks, he would have returned to Linsanity form, and he didn't, because once he left the Knicks, he became an average role player, which is what he was. It's just, you see these role players go on hot streaks all the time, and that just happened to be one of those, and he turned into a pretty solid career. But no, I mean, I remember Linsanity. He was a big part as growing up as a Knicks fan. It was obviously sad to see him go, as much as I did like him a lot. I loved him. Great part of the team. But I think he's playing in China right now.
Yeah, he's like an absolute legend in China. Any of those guys, like, culturally who make it over from China.
He's from California.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Or
he's still a big guy over there, obviously.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's like a big, like, player in China, I believe.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think...
No, but, like, what I'm saying is, like, any of those guys who do make it, like Yao Ming. Yao Ming is, like, Jesus in China.
Yeah, Yao Ming's jersey is like number one selling in the NBA for his whole career because of the sales they make in China.
Crazy.
But no,
Yao Ming's a legend.
no,
I love Yao Ming.
no, I mean, but
Have you ever, not to interrupt you, ever heard the story that Shaq told at his Hall of Fame speech? It's so funny.
oh, was it when he didn't know that Yao could speak English?
Yeah. He was like, thanks, my brother, or something like
Yeah,
that.
he was like, oh, I didn't know he could speak English. But no, I mean, Shaq.
I
That's all
love
gotta say.
Shaq. Is just he's just such a corny. He's such a corny
he's
man.
a guy. But yeah, I mean, it kind of looking in retrospective of that era of the Knicks, it's very sad to see where the team is now. Like, just guys like you're never going to see for the Knicks another guy. You're not going to see another Jeremy Lin that's going to come out of nowhere, go crazy. You're never going to see Iman Shumpert getting all defensive votes and defensive player of the year votes as a rookie. You're not going to see a guy like Landry Fields have an insane season. Well, I won't say insane, but for a player of his caliber have his only good season with us and fall off a cliff. Chris Copeland had a great 40% for 3 seasons, went to another team, gone. Like guys like that I just remember from my childhood. It's just crazy thinking about it 10 years ago. And that's like that was at the beginning of the Melo era Knicks. It was like their first or second season.
Well, yeah, the
prime that ended in it was short 2013.
I just love, like, it goes to show how bad the Knicks have been in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
That 1 month that a role player went crazy is like one of the most well-remembered Knicks historical moments in the last 10 years.
I mean, the only ones besides that are like Melo hitting the shots over the Bulls.
Yeah.
Melo dropping 60 with no other stat line. JR's game winner over the Suns and the Bobcats. Iman's put back over the Pacers. That is one of my favorite basketball plays of all time because I'm a huge Iman Shumpert fan.
I love listening to him talk.
No, Iman Shumpert is he is one of the very, like, if there's someone I want to meet, it's him.
Yeah, he's a very intelligent man.
Because he's an intelligent guy. He's done NBA. He's a rap artist.
Dancing with the
Stars. He's done it all. He's won chips. He's played with all these guys. Have you ever heard a story about Kobe?
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's one of my favorite.
I'm not even lying. I watch it like once every 2 months because the way he words it, it's so perfect.
Yeah, but yeah. With that, we'll move on to a bit of last night's games and
Giannis 50 bomb. Sorry, I had to interrupt you.
80% from the field. I mean, that's just absurd. But with that,
he's insane.
Yeah,
he's insane.
We're also going to talk about the All-Star teams, their starters, the bench, and the Celebrity All-Star games. There are some surprises on there, to say the least. But yeah, we'll move on to the first game I want to talk about, which I don't think my cousin Jameson's listening right now, but the Celtics blowing out Philly 135-87. And I wasn't keeping track of this game because I believe I was flipping through. I watched some of the Pelicans Grizzlies game. I watched a little bit of the Bucks game. I did watch a little bit of that because I heard Marcus Smart went down to the injury. Prayers up to him. I'm a huge Marcus Smart fan. But when I saw that Embiid shot the ball 9 times and was out, and like guys like Shake Milton took more shots than him, you're not winning a game in this situation. Obviously, Embiid played limited minutes because they were getting blown out. But regardless, that's very, very rough to see. But, I mean, I'm not worried about Philly. Obviously, they didn't have Harden. And when you get rid of Curry, as much as I dislike Drummond, guys like that who are your secondary scorers. Did Tobias Harris even play last night?
And also, every so often, you're just going to have a bad day. You can't win them all in an 82-game season.
Well, it's a very, very bad day, but wow, Tobias Harris played terribly. He had 6 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 of 7 from the field. Do you want to know what his plus-minus was?
Probably
-40.
Yeah, I was about to say, probably absurd.
That is terrible. But, I mean, Boston's won 9 in a row now, and they've won 11 out of their last 12. They have the number one, I think, like, in most defensive metrics, they have the number 1 defense in the league. That's not surprising. Jaylen Brown, as much as he has issues off-ball, great on-ball defender. Same with Tatum. Marcus Smart, who's one of the best defenders in the league. Robert Williams, who's a tremendous shot blocker. Al Horford, who has some versatility. He's not nearly where he used to be, but he's still a very solid defender. Then you have guys off the bench for them, like Grant Williams, who did end up starting this game because I believe that Robert Williams did not play, who's a very solid defender. They're bringing back guys like Daniel Tice, who had 4 blocks in this game. Just bringing Derek White, tremendous defender, playmaker, great fit for the team. I talked about how much I like that trade on the last show. I'm a big fan of Boston. I think I think right now they could be dark horse, especially if you have teams like Brooklyn that might not be healthy. You have teams like Miami, who has had health issues this year. Same with the Bulls. All these teams that have issues, and if Boston keeps rolling, you never know. Especially with how far Tatum and Brown have taken this team in the past, obviously making the conference finals of 2018.
Yeah, Tatum can take them they go as far as Tatum can take them. That's just the bottom line. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry.
No, you're good. But I just prayers up for Marcus Smart. I couldn't really fully tell how bad it was, but it looked like he kind of stepped on Embiid's foot while going for a rebound. So hopefully it's only a sprained ankle, because he's very important to that team, especially their defense. But with that, moving on to the next game, where we have the Bucks and the Pacers, with Giannis dropping 50 points. First 50 bombs since the finals, and 80% from the field. Here are his exact stats. He had 50 points, 14 rebounds. He shot 2 of 3 from 3, which that just shows, this in the next set I'm going to bring up, shows like you can't really, I mean, obviously things can change in the playoffs, but like, I don't know if you can really back off of Giannis anymore like teams used to. When he's hitting 2 out of 3 threes, like I mentioned, I don't think I was on the air for the Knicks game that we played them. He had like 3 or 4 threes. He didn't pull up mid ranges against us. He was taking fading shots. Like if he takes these, they're winning another ring, regardless of how Chris Middleton or Holiday play. He shot 17 of 21 from the field and 14 of 18 from the line. And Giannis, obviously, he's kind of made fun of for being a poor free throw shooter, but if he's hitting 14 to 18 of his free throws, it's over for them.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot better at that. I don't know. Hot take here. In that final series, I thought Chris Middleton was overrated.
He very much is. Like
everyone was like, oh, he turned. He's the whole reason
yeah,
they won. He turned the team around.
Someone
no,
said that he deserved
Giannis had to drop 50 in that game 6 just to barely beat the Suns.
But the way I look at it is if Giannis can keep this up to where he's hitting these shots, they're not being stopped. I said Philly might have a good chance. They will not if Giannis is hitting these shots. Obviously, who knows if they will because things change in the playoffs.
He's brutal.
But also, shout out Buddy Hield for dropping 36 and 8 threes. And I actually want to come up, kind of say something quick. I didn't watch many Kings game when Tyrese Haliburton was on the team, but I watched on Super Bowl Sunday. I watched a Pacers and Timberwolves game. That man has an ugly jump shot.
Buddy Hield?
Yeah, no, Tyrese Haliburton. Okay. Because I like using like random guys in 2K when I play online. I used Tyrese Haliburton one day. He had his like pretty ridiculous ratings. He has like a 93-point rating, and I was trying to use him, and I didn't do bad, but like his jump shot is awful, and I'm like, there's no way he shoots the ball like this. He shoots the ball like that. He shoots. It's not like
good for the 2K people for being accurate.
It's not ugly, but it's not like good to look at. But I personally believe right now, because especially after looking at some things I saw this morning, that Giannis should be higher in the MVP. I don't know if he necessarily should win it, but when you have him number 1 on the DPOY ladder, and now he's apparently leading the league in scoring, which I just found out today, like at least like points per game.
No, Giannis should be the favorite in my mind.
No, I could see why. Just it's very close. It's going to be a great 3-way race between him, Jokic, and Embiid. I'll say that, but
Curry really fell off.
Yeah, he has not been good since Draymond went out. Even before then, he was struggling a little bit. But I saw the DPOY ladder today, and I was surprised, and I wasn't because Draymond and Gobert both fell off because they've been missing extended time. Mm-hmm. But like it goes Giannis, and then Mikal Bridges at 2, which everyone knows how much I love Mikal Bridges, and Jaren Jackson at 3. Everyone knows how much I love Jaren Jackson. Those are like 2 of my guys. And
hey, Giannis is kind of your guy too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But
you were making debates about Giannis should be in the top 10 and stuff like that a couple of weeks or before the end of the semester.
Yeah, I say if he wins another if he somehow wins MVP, DPOY, and a ring this year, that dude's top 10. I get like accolades aren't everything because the media voting is a joke. Everyone admits it at this point. It's terrible, even with Hall of Fame voting. As I think we've gotten into Barry Bonds on the show before.
Oh yeah, Barry Bonds and that Aaron Rodgers MVP thing. When he called out that reporter, that was so funny.
I think he's a bum.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Instantly, doesn't even hesitate.
But
God, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he's a character. But yeah, I mean, just watching Giannis play and just developing his game to the point where now he's not only arguably the best defender in the league, but also being the top scorer. Well, statistically, like, very base, like the top scorer in the league, it's just very hard to make a debate that that he will not go down top 10, if not top 5, especially if he keeps this up. I mean, I'll say accolades aren't everything, but there are very few players where you can watch win 3 MVPs at that point, 2 Defensive Player of the Years, and then 2 finals. And has he even been in the league for 10 years yet? No. Next year would mark his 10 year, I believe, because he was drafted in 2013.
Wow, you were on the money today.
Yeah. No, I try to remember as many things as I can about Giannis, but it's just, yeah. I mean, if he keeps this up, he'll have a better resume than most Hall of Famers do in less than 10 years. If he does, I don't, like I said,
he's already a Hall of Famer. He's already top 75.
Oh, absolutely. He's obviously a Hall of Famer already. But like, it's just, you look at that, and it just, I want him to win MVP. I believe if he keeps this up and the Bucks move up top into higher seeds, which they will, that he will deserve it. But it's just, will the media voting let him win? Especially when you have a guy like Stephen A. Smith who gets a vote, and then Stephen A. Smith said he'd take Ja Morant over Giannis in the playoffs. I can't stand that dude.
He actually said that the other day.
Yeah, he was like, you know what? He does a thing where he's like, you know what? I'm gonna take Ja Morant because we know what Giannis can do in the playoffs. We don't know what Ja Morant can do in the playoffs. Like, yeah, like we do know what Giannis can do, and Giannis can drop 50 in Game 6 and win a finals series. We've seen Ja Morant play in the play-in. Like, I love Ja Morant, obviously, and they're gonna make the playoffs. They're like, I feel like they're the 2 seed right now, from what I was reading on Twitter last night.
They're doing great.
Let me check. Really
Proud of the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I watched their game against the Pelicans, and they're doing very well. They are the 3 seed right now, 1 game behind the Warriors. Wow, the Suns, they are 47-10.
I know.
They are unbelievable.
Well, you have D-Book and Chris Paul.
I forgot to bring this up. I was watching the Suns and Clippers game last night, and they had it wasn't inside the NBA, but it was like their halftime report. It was like Shaq. I think it was Shaq, T-Mac, Dwayne Wade, and some other guy. And they had, they always have like the 2 pictures of the players from each team. The Suns picture, it was Devin Booker, and the Clippers picture was Nick Batum. Like, I just sat there in astonishment at that.
The Clippers are so bad without Kawhi.
No, that's the thing, though. Where are they? I don't think they're too far out. Hold on. They're the 8 seed. They're a higher seed than the Lakers.
Paul George is...
No, he's not even playing.
I know he's not even playing, but when he was playing...
No, yeah, he was playing.
He was unreal.
He was outstanding.
No, I know he's injured, but when he was playing, I think he had them to a way significantly above 500.
Yeah. But with that, we'll move on to the last game I'm going to cover today before we move into the All-Star game, which is the Timberwolves and Hornets game, where Cat dropped 39 points and 15 rebounds in a close game. I saw a tweet yesterday that made me very disgusted. It said how, like... Because Zach LaVine said in a podcast that Flip Saunders, the old coach for the Timberwolves, said that he knew LaVine, Cat, and Wiggins would all be all-stars. And then someone said, you can make an argument that all those guys aren't even the best player in their team. I'm like, how are you going to make an argument that Cat's not the best player in this team?
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
who's better?
I guess Anthony Edwards, which obviously he isn't.
I don't know about that.
No, especially I think last night he dropped like 9. Let me see. Yeah, he had 9 points and 3 of 10 from the field. Like, Patrick Beverley scored more points than him. Oh my God, Patrick Beverley shot 1 of 8 from the field.
That's the thing about 3, rookies or young players. They're so inconsistent. Like LaMelo Ball. Yeah, LaMelo Ball's so hyped up, but LaMelo is so inconsistent. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he shot 8 of 22.
Some nights he does
which
that,
which isn't the worst.
But some nights he does that, and then other nights he drops 40 with like 15 assists. It's unreal.
I didn't realize that. But yeah, even like. Wow, I didn't know, because I like Jaden McDaniels a lot for the Timberwolves. Yep. He had 18 on 7-4. They shot very bad from 3. At least a lot of plays, like Anthony Edwards 1 of 6, Cat 4 for 11, which isn't terrible. Patrick Beverley 1 of 8, D'Lo 4 for 14. Wow. And then like Jaden McDaniels, even though he had 18, he shot 1 of 6 for 3. Then you have Jordan McLaughlin 0 for 3, Malik Beasley 0 for 4. Malik Beasley has not been good this year, which I bought like a lot of his cards, and I even bought an autographed jersey for cheap because I thought he'd boom once he left the Nuggets, and he did for a season. And I was able to sell both the cards that I got of him, but I've yet to sell the jersey, and hopefully it'll go at 1 point because I really, at this point, I'm like whatever if I make my money back or not. I just kind of I'll take the money right now. But Yeah, that's all I got. I mean, the other games last night weren't that interesting, like the Grizzlies. Like Tyus Jones had a good game. He had like 24 and 9. I like Tyus Jones a lot.
So before we head for a break here, I just want to go into one more thing. The Zion, two Zion things. One, the first one, I don't know if you saw this. That I can't remember if I said it to you or not. It was that the Pelicans were pursuing the Grizzlies' second
to get
pick.
The 1 and 2.
Yeah, and try to pick
doing something like what you do in 2K.
Yeah, try to reunite Zion and Ja from back in their AAU days. Could you imagine?
They'd have to get some very extreme spacing around that, but that would be a very fun team if healthy. Obviously.
That team would posterize people in the paint.
Yeah,
they'd be lethal. They wouldn't have much shooting, but they'd be lethal in the paint.
At that point, would they? They'd still have Lonzo, because that's what they got the pick that they would have used to trade up to 2 with the number 4 back. Yeah,
that would have been a phenomenal team.
Yeah, that would have been pretty ridiculous. But I mean, because at that point they'd probably look to flip Lonzo. I don't know. I don't know what that team would be.
They said multiple packages. I'm sure it was a couple firsts.
Yeah, they might have thrown Lonzo in the.
It was probably a first and Lonzo or a first and something weird.
Yeah, but
and then wait, one more. He may be done.
Oh yeah. So they're saying that he still has Zion, of course, has a soreness in his right foot. I don't know if it probably is the truth, but they're saying that it might require another surgery on his foot, which probably means he'd be done for the year because there's only 20 games left in the season, which, wow, to barely play. You're in your third season, and I don't even think he's played enough games to have one full season.
I don't think so.
That's pretty rough, man.
I mean, I just agree with what Charles Barkley said.
What did Charles say?
He basically said it's not, to be that built like that, it's not sustainable. He's like, you're going to get hurt. And he's like, it becomes Zion's responsibility to get healthier, and he just hasn't.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just I hate injuries, of course, but it's just
you can't be built it's just too hard to be built like that and put the regiment in that requires them to be. You're going to get hurt, especially your lower body, legs, feet. That's exactly what's happened to him so far. Yeah. I feel bad for him.
No, absolutely,
because he could be
one of the best players.
Yeah, he's built to be.
He was the year he was healthy.
Yeah, he's built to be top 10 in the league. He's unbelievable.
Did Zion make an All-Star game the year he played?
Remember that year he played half the games and almost won Rookie of the Year over Ja Morant?
He played less than half the games.
Do you remember that? And people were like, "Oh, he's gonna win Rookie of the Year." I was like, "No." I'm like,
if
no.
he won Rookie of the Year, I would have been very angry.
I love Ja Morant. You guys know that.
He did make an All-Star game, right?
What, his second season?
Yes. Yeah. So he only played 24 games in 2019, where he put up 22 points and 6 boards. Well, listen to this. In 2020, he put up 27 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, about a steal and half a block, on 61% from the field.
Yeah, but also, when he goes up for a dunk or anywhere near the rim, who's going to guard him?
No one.
Nobody.
Because not only is he just too strong, he has the flexibility to move around in the air, which is something that's probably his best aspect of scoring, his ability to move in the air, the flexibility. But he's just got to get healthy.
So when we come back, we'll take a quick break here. We will go over the All-Star game, the Celebrity All-Star game, and a quick Olympic update. So we'll see you in a couple minutes. Welcome back to WQKE LP 93.9 FM in Plattsburgh, New York. This is, I would say, the second half, but more like the last quarter of the Sports Report with Desmond and Liam. So what we have left is our NBA All-Star teams.
Yes, just know, by the way, that the music that is played on the station will not be included on the online version of the podcast because of copyright reasons, so editing is fun. But,
yay! Good work, Desmond. Round of applause.
Woo! All right, moving to the All-Star teams. We have for Team LeBron, we have Steph Curry, DeMar DeRozan, LeBron, of course, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Jokic. Wow.
Could you imagine?
And before I go into the reserves, I want to go over Team Kevin Durant's starters because it's very lopsided. I didn't watch the full draft. I watched some clips, but we have Trae Young, Ja Morant, Andrew Wiggins, Jason Tatum, and Joel Embiid. I mean, it doesn't take much to know which team is better. But
it's like if every player got downgraded. That's, you know what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
They're not. I don't think there's any position that they're better than that. Maybe center.
You can argue center, but even then, and I'll get into the guys who aren't playing, but Kevin Durant is not playing, so that's why Tatum is up there. But for the bench for Team LeBron, there's Jimmy Butler, Luka Doncic, Darius Garland, yes, James Harden, who will also not be playing, Donovan Mitchell, Chris Paul, and Fred VanVleet, and Jared Allen. I forgot. I'm going to mention him later, but I'm going to type that down so I remember. But Jared Allen is replacing James Harden.
Oh, okay.
And then for the bench...
Was that just announced?
It was announced yesterday, I
Okay.
think. And then the bench for Team Durant, you have LaMelo Ball. Let's go. Devin Booker.
Let's go.
Rudy Gobert. Zach LaVine. Chris Middleton somehow. DeJounte Murray. Karl Anthony Towns. And Draymond Green, who is also not playing.
They have a great bench.
Yeah, no, their bench is great. But I want to get in... did you watch any parts of the draft?
Yes.
So did you see how Kevin Durant was trying, everything he could do to not
funny.
pick James Harden?
Yeah,
LeBron was laughing on air at him.
Yeah, LeBron was trying to make him pick. But
Yeah,
the last pick was honestly, I would have taken. I think Kevin Durant made the right pick. Not ironically, the last pick was between Gobert and Harden.
Yeah, they need more paint defense off the bench.
Yeah, that's what he's like. He's like, I need some interior defense, and Chuck's laughing at him.
Yeah,
like,
I just very very good on Katie for not dying of laughter, bursting out of laughter.
Katie is just stone cold.
Absolutely.
He shows no emotion. My favorite part is when they were like, "Do you have a timeline or when you'll be back?" He goes, "Nope,"
No.
And they just kept talking, and then they just kept going.
But yeah, so all three of LaMelo Ball, DeJounte Murray, and Jared Allen are replacements for the guys I mentioned. And I will say right now, Pascal Siakam, I hate saying if a player is snubbed or if a player doesn't deserve it, because I do believe, Jared Allen, it's debatable whether I don't even really say it's debatable. Pascal Siakam should have been in the All-Star game, but because it's in Cleveland, that played a big role in Jared Allen getting in. But Siakam has been on a tear recently. Let me just look it up really quick. I remember when I went on Twitter after they announced Jared Allen made it, some Raptors fans very angry. He's averaging, this is on the season, so this isn't even recently where he's been playing better. On the season, he's putting up 22 points, about 9 rebounds, 5 assists, which is a career high, and about a steal and a block on 49% from the field, 35% from 3, which is really solid considering his three-point rating on 2K is very bad, and 73% from the line, which isn't a career low, but since he's become a starter, it is. His first 2 years, he shot 62% from the field, but he didn't get more than 20 minutes a game in those years. So, yeah, Siakam definitely got snubbed, but it's nice to see guys for Jared Allen make it, who, his kind of player has kind of faded out of the league. The two-dimensional center that really can't do anything besides, one-dimensional really, that can really only rebound and score. But, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good game regardless. I mean, the teams were pretty uneven last time, and it was a pretty down-to-the-wire game. So
they could be even. I just don't know how you stop Giannis and LeBron and Curry.
LeBron and Curry is enough. Then you throw in Jokic. Then you throw in Giannis.
And then you throw in DeMar DeRozan.
And you throw in DeRozan.
DeRozan's fantastic.
Yeah, no, he actually broke, it's kind of like a weird record, but he is the only player to have 6 or more, I believe, consecutive games of 30-plus points on 50% from the field. The only player that had it before was Wilt Chamberlain with 5.
Great.
It's absolutely...
I think he's a very underrated MVP candidate in my mind.
He's one of those guys, he's like Dame. Dame's never going to win an MVP, but he's always going to be up there in the race.
DeRozan, what DeRozan's doing this year, and he basically turned around the entire, Bulls franchise.
Turned around his
career and the Bulls franchise. Well, you couldn't have put you couldn't have created a better team for DeMar DeRozan. That's exactly
Yep.
It's literally the most perfect team for DeMar DeRozan to play on.
But yeah, I mean, with that, move into the Celebrity All-Star game.
Oh, this is the one. Now we're talking.
Bear with me. I don't know all of these people, so if I mispronounce someone's name, I apologize. So there's 2 teams. One is coached by Bill Walton, and the other is coached by Dominique Wilkins. On Team Bill Walton, you have Jimmy Allen. I don't know what Jimmy Allen does. Noah Carlock, who I don't think is a celebrity. I think he won some kind of competition to get in, if I'm not mistaken, from what I read.
Jimmy Allen's a country singer. I'm just going to Google him as we're going.
Brittany Elena. I don't know who she is. I apologize. I'm not... I don't want to. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to say I'm uncultured, but I kind of am in the aspect of actors. I know music guys. I'm gonna get into a couple of guys.
She's a YouTuber and American actress.
Oh, nice. Machine Gun Kelly. I find that him playing in this game to be absolutely hilarious. Everyone knows who Machine Gun Kelly is. De'Erica Hamby. Again,
women. No, American basketball player, WNBA player.
Oh, nice. I thought her name looked familiar, but I wasn't sure. Nyjah Houston, who I have heard of, but I couldn't tell you what they do.
Nyjah Houston is an American professional skateboarder.
Okay. Matt James.
British.
James, very generic. Oh,
There's no way this is true.
What?
Okay, I was about to say. The first thing I came up with was a garden designer. I'm like, there's no way that's it. American television personality, former football player, best known for being on The Bachelor.
Oh, right. Yeah, he's the host of The Bachelor. Right. Wow, I'm really uncultured. Quavo, who...
Do you know who Quavo is?
Of course I know who Quavo is. He's actually, for some reason, got a My Team card in 2K. Him, the game, and Ronnie 2K, for some reason, got cards in My Team. But everyone knows who Quavo is. He's always great at the All-Star game. Ranveer Singh.
He's an Indian actor.
Who is an actor. I know who that is. Alex Toussaint or Toussaint.
Alex Toussaint. He's 500,000 Instagram followers on Instagram, but nothing came up. It says cycling instructor for Peloton. He's probably going to tear it up then.
Probably. And then everyone's favorite, Anderson Varejao, who made an NBA comeback last year. That's pretty funny that he's in, obviously, the Cleveland connection. And then for Team Dominique, you have Anuel AA.
Puerto Rico rapper. That's awesome.
Mayor Justin Bibb, who is the mayor of Cleveland.
Why is Justin Bibb playing?
I don't know, man. Kane Brown. I actually do know who Kane
Country
Brown
singer.
is. Miles Garrett. That's hilarious.
Dude, Miles Garrett's lethal on the court.
Yeah, Daniel. I don't know if I can say this on the air, but Daniel Gibson. I feel like most people, if you know Daniel Gibson, you know what his nickname is. Tiffany Haddish. I know who Tiffany Haddish is. Jack Harlow. Also hilarious that he's in this.
He's good at basketball too.
I know who Krista Jackson is. Anjali Ranadiv. I don't know who that is.
Singer-songwriter.
Nice.
That's all that comes up.
Gianmarco Tamberi. No clue. Again, I apologize for being such. This is
the most unprofessional thing we've ever done. So
Absolutely.
Just bear with us. I'm sure whoever's listening to this is probably laughing. Italian high jumper, Olympic athlete.
Dude's gonna jump over someone. Okay. I personally have Team Dominique winning because of Daniel Gibson, Miles Garrett, and Jack Harlow. But Quavo is obviously Quavo. Like, he could turn the team around easily.
Is he that good?
He's really good. But I want to throw it back to my favorite All-Star Game moment of all time. I believe it's in 2013. I'm a huge J. Cole fan. And it was like when I think J. Cole at the time had just released... It was either Sideline Story or For Your Eyes Only. I can't fully remember off the top of my head right now. And it was him and Kevin Hart run the same team, and Kevin Hart actually threw a lob to J. Cole, and he caught it and slammed it down. And the announcer said something real corny. He was like, "Oh, it's a Cole world." But that's obviously a very good moment for me. I remember my dad showing me that clip a couple years ago. But yeah, I mean, the Celebrity All-Star Game's always fun. Like, I remember they had a really short guy playing. I can't remember his name. But yeah, it should be a good game.
I agree. All right, before we go, Olympic medal count.
Yay!
So it just depends what you prioritize, whether or not it's golds or total.
Yeah.
In total, I don't even know where America's ranked, but the top three is Norway, the Russian Olympic Confederation, I think is what it is, and then Germany, 28, 24, 20 respectively. And then in golds, Norway's at 13, Germany's at 10, and we are 8. We have a potential to win, I want to say 1 or 2 golds tonight. The biggest event tonight's at 11:10 p.m. Our women's ice hockey team is taking on Canada. I think we're pretty good. I mean, we must be to be in the finals. And then there's a couple other gold events tonight. There's a men's slalom run. There's a biathlon. I love watching biathlon. There's cross-country skiing tonight. There's, of course, the bronze medal game. And then there's freestyle skiing at 7 a.m. I can't stand why they do the Olympics in Beijing because the time zone.
Did you see the one picture?
Of the
ski
hill
ramp
near a nuclear
reactor. That's interesting.
No, it's not that I care where they put it. It's the time zone. It's just the time zone thing. It's just like the same thing in Japan. Like, there's gold events happening at 4 a.m. Like, why can't you have had them a little earlier in the day? Because they could at least be at like 11. So you know what I'm saying? Because you're trying to like I don't want to be rude, but a lot of your viewers are coming from Europe and America, where the time zone is significantly different. However, I guess that's what happens. I think we have one of the next Summer Olympics.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
There's one in LA coming up.
Ooh, the only time I really pay attention to Olympics very often is when
basketball.
Yeah, obviously.
So we'll keep you updated on that. Like I said, the Winter Olympics aren't really my thing, but it's good to keep an eye on the medal count. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I remember in the Summer Olympics we went on an absolute tear the last 2 days. Like we were down and then I think we won like 10 gold in the last 2 days. It was unreal. And then we got the total by like 1. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
I think our winning gold medal was on something weird. It was like shooting or something. It was something really, really weird.
Odd.
But I guess that's the Summer Olympics. So with that, I think that's all we got for you today. So we'll see you next Monday. It'll be I can't really tell you what's going to happen because we don't really know what's going to happen. So hopefully we'll have something exciting to talk about. But if not, like we said, tune into our social media, The Sports Report with Liam and Desmond, exclamation point after report, or on Spotify and Twitter and
YouTube.
all that. Yeah, all that shebang. So definitely tune in there. But for you guys, have a
blessed night.
Yeah, have a blessed night, and we will see you on Monday.